Carlos Condit versus Matt Brown. Man, where to begin with this fight? Condit hasn't looked good recently. We all know this. Neither has Brown. But Condit has looked better than Brown. Let's be honest. Now, I'm not sure what either of these guys are fighting for anymore. I really don't know. You know, Condit won, or at least was interim champion at some point, and then lost it, and just hasn't really, you know, made it back to that top echelon again since that moment. On the other hand, he's much better than Matt Brown's performances. But at the same time, I have both of these guys in like the same category of guys who everyone's like, oh yeah, Carlos Condit. Do you remember every time you were excited to see Carlos Condit fight, and then like every time he let you down and you're like, who is this guy? You don't even remember him anymore. Although he has looked good recently, you know, I don't know. I feel like there are a couple fighters, well, maybe more than a couple fighters in the UFC who shouldn't be fighting, or who maybe have lost their luster. And one of those fighters is definitely Matt Brown, and the other is Carlos Condit. And, you know, give Matt Brown credit because he's 40 friggin' years old. So makes sense. Carlos Condit, on the other hand, a little bit of a younger buck. So I don't know what I think much of him anymore. I love both these guys, but I don't see either of them making a run for a belt anytime soon, especially in the remainder of their career. So what are they fighting for? And at the end of the day, I think Condit has more threats, has more to offer, still looks good, still is young. However, Condit could lose by submission, as 3 of his recent 4 losses were by sub. So Brown could look for that. And Brown can get a sub on Condit, but Condit is a tough fighter for Brown. And I don't think Condit will allow any time for Brown to even be able to play catch up here. The fight will end early, and it ends with Brown laying on the floor and Condit with his hands raised. Matt doesn't have the athleticism anymore or the physical capability to beat Condit here, even though they are both in the same boat and realm and category, however you want to call it, as far as fighting goes in their career. Condit is the younger fighter, and he seems to have more kick in his step right now. So for that fact, I'm going with Carlos Condit, but I'm going to go by decision on this one.